beep, 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 beep. A Radio Stat Zero broadcast. Holy crap. It's been a while since I've had a guest on here. Never have I had more than one guest on. Hello, chat. Welcome to Zero Visibility. Michael DJ, welcome to the nest. Citizen Ronan, welcome to the nest. Creative Faye, welcome to the nest. Jav, welcome to the nest. And Keir, who's here? Welcome to the nest for the first time. So, you guys all know these people. Pete Samedi here. He's here every 6 months without fail for the last year and a half.
Nice. I'm like a bad cold. Just can't shake me off. Every 6 months, it's like, oh, it's that time again.
And friend of the channel, Robert Geronimo, has been on here a couple of times. He's back.
Greetings,
Always happy to see him. And for the first time, Keir Covington.
Howdy, people.
I don't have any applause sound effects or anything like that.
There we go.
No, I might as well jump right into this. This one threw me for a loop. Coming out of nowhere with a crossover.
Good.
I never see it.
Keep you on your toes.
That's right.
I was always thinking it'd be cool to see some of this stuff do a crossover. I was always thinking it'd be something like a theme, like everybody does, I don't know, a Bigfoot story or something like that, and just tie it all together. But this is much cooler. How did this come out? How long have you guys been planning this?
How long? When did this actually start, Pete?
For 50 years, these dudes have been planning it.
50 years.
50 years.
I think sometime in January.
Really?
Right? Was it?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Who broke
January,
the top?
yeah, we started to seriously talk about it. Pete talked about it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I brought it to Rob because I thought that where our stories were going and the characters that we had, it'd be fun to do this. Because I was, at that point, finishing up, really finalizing issue 9 of King Cryptid. And I thought that would be a really good time for this particular crossover story, if Rob was for it. If not, then that's okay. I could still find a way to make use of what happens in 9. And I'm being cryptic about it because it's not out yet, the issue.
Of course.
But there's stuff that happens in it where, because Blood Moon takes place after King Cryptid number 9 and after Blood Realm number 18, readers would have those books well before they would have Blood Moon. With King Cryptid, that's going to go to print towards the end of this month. And then Blood Realm 15 to 18, probably towards the end of October, maybe early November. So Blood Moon's not coming out till maybe June or so of next year. So readers will be definitely reading things in chronological order if they choose to. But it felt like it made sense to do this kind of a story, and Rob was into the pitch. And then we developed it after there, and I just thought the visual, because King Cryptid is such a woodsy fella. He's this animalistic man monster. And Chiron is just so, he's very different. Even his mannerisms are different than King Cryptid's. He's just very, there's an air of regality about Chiron. Even though King Cryptid's got king in the title, he's not necessarily royalty.
Right.
So, his style's more like a brawler, kind of whatever gets the job done, fighting style. He's a little bit more now to get different about their personalities. I think he's a little bit more it's hard to say. I don't want to say that he's stoic, compared to Chiron, because Chiron kind of is as well.
Yeah, he's pretty stoic. Yeah.
But he's more aged than Chiron. King Cryptid being like 500 plus years old, and Chiron, you know, he's old, but he's blasted through time. So instantaneously, he went from, you know, like what was it? You said like it was like a millennia past, right?
Yeah.
Where he gets transported instantly in time. So, you know, things really happen to Chiron quickly. Whereas King Cryptid got to see a lot of stuff evolve and change over time. So the way they go about things, their attitudes is similar but different. Their temperament, as we'll see in Blood Moon, again, similar but different. Like, I think when they're both pushed to what their respective extremes are, they kind of handle things differently.
Maybe
And I think that
King
makes
Cryptid's
for
a little more
interesting
patient.
storytelling, too. Well, we'll see. You know, I think maybe there's
Maybe
certain
you won't
things
be.
where one of them exhibits more patience than the other, and the other one, because like in this King Cryptid in Blood Moon, he's transported essentially to Mordrin,
Yeah.
so he's completely out of his element. He's
I
on
can
a
see,
different
like,
planet, different dimension, everything.
Well, from what I've read, I mean, I can certainly see a beat the clock element for him,
Yeah,
for goodness
Like-
sake. But
he wants to get back to Earth, but it's not even one of those things of, you know, he's got 3 days to do this thing or
Right.
the portal closes. Like, he doesn't even know if he's ever going to get back to Earth,
right,
you know, because he knows how he went there. He chased Vargor, which he doesn't know who he is at this point in time when he does it, but he comes upon him in the middle of the night on Mystery Hill in Salem, New Hampshire. And he's fighting this guy, and he knows this guy is strong. This guy, he senses a lot of evil in him. He can kind of sense his motivation and intention, and he feels like this character here is way too strong. He's way too evil, way too strong to let go, and he sees Vargor running off, and he's like, I gotta chase him. I gotta perhaps even try to end him. And so Vargor opens up a portal, and we see that in the preview pages, the first 5 preview pages. And King Cryptid latches on to one of Vargor's tentacles and takes a ride through that portal. And King Cryptid has no idea where that's going. Maybe it's going to another place on Earth. Maybe he figures whatever. Either way, I gotta see this through. And he ends up going with him to Mordrin. And King Cryptid at that point in time is being essentially used. He doesn't even know it, but he's falling into a trap that Vargor is basically setting for him. Because he thinks he senses how strong King Cryptid is, that they can go toe to toe. And he's like, maybe I can kind of turn this guy and use him for my means. And so he takes him back to Mordrin, essentially.
If he
And
would
he's
turn.
unaware. Exactly, yeah. You know, so that's where the story, basically the whole setup for that takes place. And with them dropping into the middle of this epic battle that Chiron is having, it just sets the tone and the scale for everything.
Yeah.
Keir, how did you get mixed up in all this?
I was just goofing around on Twitter, drawing fan art, and they found me. So
That's how it happens.
that's how it happened.
So that's how they came to you with this pitch, and you were with like.
Well, I was already working on King Cryptid
Sure.
issue 9 and Blood Realm 17 and 18. So I was already working with Pete and Rob. So this is
That
the
makes
story right after those issues. So they thought of me to join the group, and I was like, "Hey, let's do it."
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I-
right place at the right time.
So, just before we got on, Rob was telling me that this is not like a newsprint, old school, like one of those 100-page giants kind of thing.
No,
you guys
yeah.
planted.
This is on 80-pound silk-coated, sexy paper.
Ooh,
That's right.
Yeah.
high class.
Sexy
Yeah.
moon.
Not as much character and warmth as newsprint,
Right.
but it's nice. It's not a glossy paper. It's not a matte paper. It's kind of an in between, but with less glare than
It's
either of
saying
them.
This is an event book.
It's a nice graphic novel with a wraparound cover. It's a complete story. And when it ends, it's a story that you got the whole thing, but at the end, it's a setup for what's to come. So it's not like a cliffhanger in terms of there's a part 2 to the story or something.
Right.
But it kicks off, hopefully in the reader's mind, things that they can think of like, oh, well, what would that mean? What implications does that have for both titles and for those characters? So hopefully if we do our job right, that's how people view it.
So do you think this is a good jumping on point, or do you think it would be
think
better
so, yeah.
to go to Alterna and get the first few issues?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna twist my arm about it. I think people it helps if you read them chronologically, sure.
Sure.
But just like the same feel that the King Cryptid series has, I wanted this to have that feel where you can just dive right into this story.
Yep.
And you'll get acclimated quickly. You'll figure out who's who, what's what. And just, the story's not going to leave you feeling like you're in the middle of the conversation. So if you're a completely new reader to Alterna, to King Cryptid, to Blood Realm, one of them maybe, you can read both. I think this story's fine for that. You can jump right in.
You'll want to. It's fun.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think this is like a? I have to ask. Is this like a one-off? Do you think, or is this open the door to possible future crossover type projects?
I mean, it would be great if this could expand. We have ideas where we'd like to take things, but it really depends on how all of it is received.
Yeah.
Right. It's on the backers. Yeah. If they want more.
Right. But it's a complete story. Don't get me wrong. Like we're
Right.
telling a complete story with this. So it's not like
Glad to hear it.
there's going to be this absolutely absurd cliffhanger, and you gotta get the next book to see how this whole thing wraps up with this crossover. It's still a complete story. It's still a complete story. It's just there's going to be little hints of what could be, but if it doesn't, it's still a complete story without a doubt.
Jefferson Roswell, welcome to the nest, says, but there is a stretch goal for the newsprint floppies.
Correct. So if we're lucky enough to have the campaign reach 100K by the time that we start fulfillment, then we'll print up part 1 and part 2 as newsprint issues, Blood Moon number 1, Blood Moon number 2. And then those will be free. Those will be bonuses for all the physical perk backers.
There you go.
So we're looking at upgrade the spot UV coating for covers A and B. That's $25K. $30K upgrade logo to red foil stamping. I kind of like that, putting the money back into the book.
Yeah, and we're doing both here, where we're giving people a bonus, and then we also upgrade the book too.
Cole King says you can get the back issues as an add-on, I believe.
Correct.
Also,
Yeah.
good point. And I mean, yeah, you can order. For those of you in replay land, or if you haven't in the chat haven't gotten this, you can get it on Indiegogo, or you can get it directly from Alterna. I don't mean to like sway you or anything, but that's where I got mine.
Sway away.
Either way, you'll still get the books.
That's right. That's right. So I got all kinds of add-ons. The shirt, it's a pretty sweet shirt.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
So-
With that great Keir art, you got the one on the left is glow in the dark, and then the other one it's one shirt, but there's the front and there's the back, and it's an all over print, and that's Keir's fantastic art. You got the heroes on the front, and the villains on the back.
Oh, it's great.
Bringing back that 90s t-shirt
I know. I
action.
was thinking the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
So good.
and then you
So
got
good.
how many covers? 2, 3, 4. 4 covers.
Yeah,
Like
the
it.
art's so good on this. It was like, I'm not that keen on variant covers, and I kind of sort of, I know these are variants, but it's like they're not really variants in a way.
I was going to ask, would you count that almost? I mean,
because it's the same art, know. The second
Right.
one is just the art. It's just
Right.
art only, and it's the full wraparound only art. And then the cover C is a blank variant sketch cover, nice uncoated cardstock. It's very similar to basically what we have on our single issues blank variants.
Mhm.
And then D is like just the line art, but all the negative space, all the white space will glow in the dark.
Mm.
And then the full wraparound.
Oh, the full wraparound is glow in the dark.
Yeah, front and back. Yeah.
Playing around here.
And it glows bright.
Oh, have
Yeah,
you
it's
tested them out?
Very
and everything?
nice. Yeah, the printer sent me samples of it,
Mhm.
of not this image printed up, but they sent me samples of work they've done before,
Mhm.
and it's incredible. It's incredible, and this isn't like the glow in the dark from like the 80s or 90s where, it was pretty good, but they couldn't get really intricate with it. Like they can do fine line work, glow in the dark. I couldn't believe it. So
Hold it
I
to a lamp
asked.
for, like,
Yeah, you can just even. It was an overcast day when they arrived, and I just kind of charged them up on the overcast, outside the window for like, I don't know, 5-10 seconds, and it was bright. It still glowed bright.
Blinding.
So yeah, and I had asked the printer because I didn't know it's expensive to do. I didn't know how much this would be. I didn't know what they could do. I didn't know to the extent that they could do it. So I at first thought that maybe we could just do like the eyes or the blood moon background or the flaming sword, little bits of it. And like that would have been cool, but at the same time, you shut the light off and you're like, "Oh, cool. That's like really not an image, but it glows." But this instead it's pretty cool. You'll see the full image glowing in the dark, which is the right way to do it, and I'm glad we could do it that way.
That's great.
Technology. Don't you love it?
Yeah. And plus we got glow in the dark sketch cards on the campaign too,
Which
so
is
it's
really?
crazy. Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gotta be the theme. Glow in the dark campaign.
A
Yeah, well,
hand-drawn
King
glow in the
Cryptid's
dark.
got glow in the dark as a
Same
kind of
stuff,
a theme
Same
going
printer.
on. Well, King Cryptid, the stickers that we did and also the shirt that we did, it's a different printer than these guys. These guys
Oh.
print the books. But for the stickers and the shirt, it was a different supplier.
Cole King mentions you can get whichever cover you want. You don't even have to buy 100 copies of Cover A to get these other covers.
Exactly. Yeah, get whatever you want, But I will say that cover B, C, and D are going to be printed in very limited quantities in terms of extras, whereas we'll have a bunch of cover A for a while. But so if you do want B, C, or D, especially the glow in the dark D, that's going to have a very small overprint. Then get those during the campaign because we're not going to print a whole hell of a lot extra.
And then the next one's going to have to be fought over in an alternate auction.
Exactly.
Precisely.
A huge markup.
Right. Yeah, this.
Now that-
I thought this was like almost a joke post when I first saw it.
The hell's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, what
I
does
mean,
that mean?
Like,
Gross.
I remember asking you, like, this is a while ago. I was asking you, like, what are you thinking about crossovers? You're like, probably not. It's not really in the cards. And then I'm sitting there like seeing this, and I'm like, okay, what's the date? It's not April. Okay. Now
Well, when was that?
this is a crossover.
When did I say that?
Oh my gosh, it must have been. Well, it was a couple of years ago. I
Years
think.
ago.
Yeah,
Years.
years. Yes.
Well, it's just
nevertheless.
when you cross over everything that takes away the specialness of it,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
suppose-
got
I
to work
suppose-
with the story and with everything.
Right.
That was
Right.
pre King Cryptid too.
Right.
Mhm.
And that was even pre me deciding I don't want to sign on or even have anything anymore that's a limited series. I want
see, I was
ongoing
thinking-
titles and I want creators that are committed for
I
the
was
long
thinking
haul.
you guys were gonna work just on your respective things for a good while. Like I was like I'd see Rob going to 50 before he did a thing, and maybe the same for King Cryptid before any kind of a crossover or something happened. And then I see this, and it's like, whoa, I'll take it.
Well,
money down.
yeah, it fit in with the story, so that
Right.
worked out. The right
Yeah.
story at the right time.
Well, Rob's basically up to like issue 50 in indie years.
In India.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's like dog years,
well. King Cole says this
Every
is
one issue's like 7 in the mainstream.
That's right.
this is the crossover, best one ever. According, that's what people are saying.
The best Alterna Comics
It is.
crossover graphic novel of all time. That's what people on the streets are saying.
That's 100% true.
Pete
And we
and
can't get
Gap
into
Gap.
trouble for that.
There you go.
True. Well, you did kind of dip your Unit 50. They dipped their toes in the crossover pond for a second, didn't they?
Unit 44 had that
44,
issue. It
that's
was
what I
fun,
meant,
but no one in that crossover talked, and the characters showed up. It was just like a cameo crossover,
Right.
Yeah.
And that was about it. It didn't really have an impact on anyone's titles. It didn't really do anything to advance any of the characters or the worlds or anything like that. It was just kind of like, okay. And then that was it. It was like a fun thing to do.
That was the messenger. It was like the harbinger, like it's coming.
But this is like an incontinuity.
Right.
No retcons, no reboots, no remakes, no punches pulled. Nothing like that where we're sitting there going, okay, well, we did that, but see, it was a dream, guys,
Right.
And they wake up.
Yeah, none of that.
So you're telling me I'm not going to get my scene where, Chiron Morval and King Cryptid sit down to a cup of coffee for a good 10 pages?
Never.
Sit there.
I won't draw that.
That's a stretch goal, if we get to 200,000.
Well, for 200,000, I would draw.
They'll have a coffee conversation.
There is a price.
A supplemental featurette.
Exactly.
Special epilogue.
Yeah, Chiron with some espresso, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
King Cryptid with a nice Green Mountain blend.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Nantucket blend.
Smooth.
Yeah,
Rich and smooth.
No talking in hallways about their feelings, Dr. Bass says.
Oh yeah.
That's the 300,000 stretch goal. Now you guys are getting a little bit, needy, but we'll do it.
Do it.
If that's what the fans want, then we'll do it.
That's a bold statement.
Do it.
You're doing that thing that actors do where they don't want to do a movie, but then they just charge a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
Just to, and then
That's
the studio goes, okay, here you go. And it's like, well,
that's how life works, man. Everyone's got a price.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, you've only got to 100K, so I mean, we'll cross that when we get to it.
I want to get to 18.
Yeah.
18K. Be perfectly happy with reaching that.
I
That's the goal of the campaign. We
Yeah.
got 16 days to get there.
Mhm.
And, we're going to go in demand on Indiegogo, and we're going to leave this up as well. But, the longer it's up, the book, there might not be like a ticking time factor for King Cryptid, but there's a ticking time factor for the campaign and for the rewards and perks on the campaign.
Yeah.
So, we'll be sending some of them away the more time goes on, and you gotta, if you see what you want, you gotta get it, and spread the word. And if you can't get something right now but you want to get something later, please, it really helps to spread the word of the campaign. If you're interested in this book or the characters here, it really helps.
Yeah, we appreciate it, guys. Get the word out there.
Well, I have faith in the Alterna readers. They've come through.
Yeah.
I think you said Rob and I were talking. You've got an Alterna campaign shipping pretty soon, right? Or no? Do I remember wrong?
Is it the remaster? No.
No, the
All the
remastered
Fames are
stuff?
shipped.
You're talking about Dawn of the Wolf.
Yeah. Me.
No,
I was
Wolf
talking about
next
he said Alterna. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So I have one page left to draw for that, and that's it, folks. Then I just got to color those pages that I'm doing. Have it there on the board. It's 75-80% done, and I'm gonna get it done tonight. I'm doing it.
All right.
Yeah, been putting this one off.
The man never sleeps.
No.
He never sleeps.
So once it's done, finished. Oh, and then we got the OLED card. Oh, wow, dude, you got them in.
You got here today.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this card's a bonus for anyone that backed the Alterna Remastered books. You can get those still right now. We're still taking pre-orders on them.
Great.
Or you could purchase the card individually. I think it's $2 on the site.
Oh, awesome.
There's Olek. He's card number 19. And then I got the first half of the King Cryptid trading card order. So I got...
Oh.
These are the next wave. This is card 9, 10, 11, 13, 15, and 17. So I'm waiting on 4 more cards that are supposed to get here early next week. They sent them in 2 waves.
Nice.
So these have the covers and then the back of them. And then there's like the Necro report on issue 5.
Even got a coffee stain on it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Complete.
Yeah,
You know
look at
it's
that.
real.
Stamp of excellence.
Yeah.
Exactly, the stamp of excellence.
Clearly a Nantucket blend.
Nantucket blend.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Oh, awesome.
Cool. And those look
That's-
fantastic. So we
yeah,
got
I love them in the binder. They look good.
Yeah.
so the next one to hit mailboxes is going to be, is it King Cryptid?
King Cryptid.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on getting those issues done. All the art's done, and I'm lettering 5 to 9. And then once those are done, sent to the printer, it usually takes a couple weeks, and then I'll start doing fulfillment in earnest. I mean, at this point, I've been sending out whatever I have when I have it, and I've got most of that. I'm waiting on, let's see, the rest of the trading cards that are going to get here next week. Glow-in-the-dark shirts are going to get here next week. And then the collector boxes and the trading card boxes will probably get here in 2 to 3 weeks. And that'll pretty much be everything that I'm waiting on. So I can start fulfillment once the books arrive and get things out there to everybody.
Sure.
And I can't wait for that. I think people are really going to love 5 to 9. If they enjoyed 1 to 4, I think they're really going to love 5 to 9. I think they're better in every way possible.
1 through 4 made a big splash. Now that's a bold statement, Pete.
Well, the
Well,
stories get more complex.
I'll be
and
proven
interesting.
correct.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to them.
They're going to be good.
Lots of fun stuff happening.
Keir, I'm going to turn the spotlight on you for a minute.
What's up?
I'm looking at your art here,
Shoot.
and I love it, by the way.
Thank you.
Who is it? Who is it you you know, kind of like looked at through the years that kind of like you'd say some of your bigger influences?
I
Doesn't have
like
to be comic books.
well, I've always kind of drawn, but it wasn't comic books.
Mhm.
But when I did start looking into comics, so it was like Spawn and the 80s and 90s guys.
Sure.
So all of that kind of like image stuff is what I really liked. You know, the real impactful, cool looking art. So it was more of those guys, the Liefelds and Jim Lee and all that stuff. So that's really the kind of comics that I was like, ooh, these look cool. And, you know, because I like the art of comic books.
Right.
So that's really where I was like, I like this stuff. So I'm going to try to figure out how to do that in my own way. And, you know, hopefully someday I'll make some super great art like those guys did.
And now you find yourself in a big crossover.
Look at this
Doing
guy
a
here,
crossover.
Fishing for compliments. Fishing for compliments on the Stato Show.
Unbelievable.
Shower me with them. Come on. Give them to me.
What are you talking about, Keir? These are so great.
I do the best I can, you know, and I'm trying to improve all the time. So I stay humble. That was always my thing.
Now, Keir is knocking it out of the park.
He really
Oh,
is.
yeah.
This guy, every other day, he sends me a new piece of art. And I'm like, this is incredible. This is better than the one you just sent me. Like he's improving like every day. Literally every day. It's getting better and better and better. It's crazy. I don't think there's a ceiling on Keir's potential as an artist. I think he's just going to get better and better and better. My only hope is he doesn't forget us.
Yeah.
And if he does still remember us, please don't charge us too much.
Yes.
No, never.
Please.
No, it's, you know, I always heard those guys, they were like, if you draw all the time, you should notice stuff every like 3 months. You should see improvements, you know, so that's good. And then some people said that they would hit like a ceiling and they'd never get better or they'd start getting worse. So I'm just trying to see where that I'm going to fall in that category. Yeah.
Well, that's when you got to start looking at different stuff.
Right. Yeah. So
feel like-
expand.
Yeah, that's like an indication that you're kind of like sticking with the same exact kind of, you may be looking at the same books. You got to look at other things, and then like branch out from like painters or old ad guys from the 40s or something like that. Like definitely help you change once I've had that problem myself where you're just kind of like looking at like 90s comics or something like that. After a while, there's so much you can get from that before you have to
move on,
look at something else.
That's true. I try to do a lot through my own mind. I try not to look at a lot of stuff now. That's where I'm trying to see what I could actually do on my own. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Trying to push myself a little bit. I'll still use reference for like that horse there. I would see, this is a horse picture, so this is what a horse's head looks like. Let's make it look like a horse's head. But I'm trying to stay away from the, really pulling from other people, just trying to see like, this is what I'm trying to get. Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't work out. You never see those pieces of artwork when they suck. And I'm like, this sucks. And then I flip it over and I use it. So.
Oh man, I always post my failure.
You'll get pieces of paper with a drawing that sucks on the back and then something good on the front side of it.
I can certainly see that. It's like, what is this? Well, it's a horse. That's not a horse. Well, it's a blood realm horse.
Blood realm horse.
Different species.
Blood realm horse. A new breed.
A new breed. They're mean. They bite people. Watch out for them.
Oh man!
You don't see any grass there, so they're really hungry and angry. And
yeah, they're carnivorous horses.
Yeah, so it's like things are different.
Beefarino.
That's right. Things are different in their world.
Yeah.
Got an old guy like, there ain't nothing that don't murder you in Blood Realm.
Oh, they eat each other. Cannibal horses. Ooh.
Wow, man. Rob, you getting ideas here?
I am actually. That's a pretty neat
flag
idea.
Of cannibal horse locusts.
Cannibal
Make
horse
nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now we're talking, guys.
There you go.
Now you're speaking my language.
That's right.
You can have it.
You can have it. Keep it.
Keep
your carnivorous.
It's fun drawing Blood Realm. I'm drawing a sketch cover right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
This is for the art auction this weekend.
Speaking of which, Pete, I've been seeing posts of your sketch cards, and hot dang. They're looking great.
Yeah, Pete's art's on fire.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were good when I
like
found you,
rock.
like when you were doing
that's fun.
like 5-minute sketches or like little commissions and stuff a couple years ago. But wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything helps with learning, So the 5-minute stuff and quicker ones that I've done, it really just helps me to shut off overthinking a piece.
Oh yeah.
And to retain the energy. So when I do slow down, like I did this card today with this is Killer King, which will be in issue 10 of King Cryptid.
Oh, I saw that one. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that one's hot. There it is.
That looks awesome.
All right.
Yeah. Look at them teeth. Look at them teeth.
Get him angry.
Right,
and I gotta say too, I'm using 3 millimeter, and it's been a game changer for me because before I was I did a lot of stuff like blacking out big spots, and I was using maybe like a thicker, like a 0.4, 0.5, and using the 3 millimeter pencils, and then also especially the inks. And then getting a good eraser that won't just erase all the inks.
Yeah.
And smear them everywhere or lift them up has really helped.
I know how that works.
Yeah.
I switched to a dip pen just for that, because like once that dries, there's just nothing taking it up.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like discovering or trying out new tools, that can kind of send you down a whole other road with your art that you didn't really think before that you could do.
Oh yeah. Keir, are you mostly digital, or are you all traditional?
Traditional. Yeah, everything's done on paper.
Beautiful.
I'll scan it and import it and do some stuff digitally, but it's all drawn. And then I like to have the original. I'm sticking with that, and then we can sell it later on and send it to Good Home. So that's another avenue.
Do you go 11 by 17, or do like a weirder size?
No, 11 by 17, just comic book board.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, I tried to stick to the old school way of doing things. I don't want to lose that.
Okay. So,
I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Sounds like it
affordable.
speaks directly to Pete. He's over there
Yeah.
nodding like, yes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
true. It's true. It's really
Well,
important.
if anything, it's out of arm's reach, but there was a really great Victor Lugo image that Nick Hunter had a couple of in King Cryptid #7, but that issue's a black and white issue, and I wanted to use them for a trading card. And I was first going to color it digitally, and I was like, you know what? I want to see if I could print this out. Maybe I can color it traditionally with a Copic marker. And if it doesn't look good, it doesn't look good. I'll give my best with digital after that. But it came out really good, and I loved doing it. And I was surprised that the marker didn't destroy the printer ink.
Nice.
My only complaint was that I don't have any good card stock around. I tried trimming a piece of Bristol to size and putting it through the printer, and I wasn't having it. So it's like just nice regular copy paper. But it colored well, and I was able to scan it through and then, use that for the trading card. And I'm thinking of, at this point, maybe even on an issue or two for the next King Cryptid batch, maybe I'll be the colorist on it. And I'll try and print them out high res, color them traditionally with like marker on the actual, and then scan it through really high res.
Really?
And then use that.
Wow.
I'd
Look
say
at
you
you.
try watercolor,
Yeah,
but
for real.
if your
Well,
printer's not going to do
hold on
cardstock,
a
then-
second.
Getting creative.
Well, it
over
won't
here.
do. It'll do cardstock, but it wouldn't do the Bristol I had. That was a little too
okay.
thick.
yeah,
Let me,
I think watercolor paper would be too thick too. There you go. It's going. Do you think Rob? Do you think Pete's going to get some special cards like you got with your Blood Realm cards?
Get special cards in terms
Yeah,
of
you got
like,
the Blood Realm cards, like the skulls and stuff like that.
Well, we got
Right.
the King Cryptid
Oh, he's
cards.
got the he has
Do
King
they?
Cryptid
I haven't
cards.
seen them.
Yeah, right
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen them? The
The
on the toned paper stock.
right. No, I haven't. I don't think I've
Yeah.
actually seen the King Cryptid ones.
Oh,
I've seen a
yeah.
bunch of your sketch cards. I don't know that I've seen the King Cryptid.
And they got the big ones too.
Ooh.
These ones.
No, I haven't seen any of those.
The giants.
So we had these last year
beautiful.
too, and now we got them in 5x7 also. So these are for backers on the campaign,
Right.
and then these are like quick 3-minute cards. So there's Behemoth, another Behemoth, Dragon,
Like it's a
Vanderkin,
popular character.
Nice.
Wendy the Werewolf, and White Mountain Yeti. But yeah, it's nice with the toned paper stock. It lets you kind of use it as a mid-tone, and then you
Right.
can use that white to make it pop. But so here's what I was talking about with coloring. This is a Victor Lugo card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
So, colored with Copic marker on
Do you
Nick's
think
art.
that would reproduce
you know.
though?
Oh, it did perfectly. But I
Perfect.
scanned it through at 1200 DPI.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I put it on the trading card. So this is like the profile on the card, just a little box, like the way that it would be like a profile shot there. And then the card art itself. This is much bigger than. This is probably like 5x7. The trading card's 2.5 by 3.5. But then when this is scanned through at 1200 DPI, I could make like a full blown 24-inch poster with that scan essentially.
Yeah.
So it came out great, and I was like, if I just print them on a decent cardstock, I could probably be like the colorist on a book or two. And
That would be
we'll
awesome.
see. We'll see. I'm gonna get some cardstock, test it out, see how it works. But I love doing it with the markers on there, and then I'll actually have original colors too if people were interested in those.
You're just gonna go right in and color a whole issue, not do like a backup or something, just to see.
No, just color a whole issue.
Just do
Wow.
it. I think you could do it.
No
I
biggie.
think so.
Go for it.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was
I
fun.
hear
I
it's all
was like,
coloring.
if
It's
it
very
doesn't
relaxing.
really work, then I figured, all right, I'll try it digitally for the card. But
Yeah,
it came out great.
that's great.
I wonder how many
Awesome
markers you
idea.
go through.
Yeah. You just got to start buying a lot of markers.
So
Ooh.
we'll see.
Do you get like the actual Copics or the like Hobby Lobby knockoffs or something.
I got about maybe 40 actual Copics, and then I got maybe 6 or so of the Hobby Lobby ones, and those aren't too bad actually, and they're like $1.70 something.
I was about to say Copics are like what, like $7 a marker or something? It's crazy.
Yeah, but you can refill them,
Yeah, I do have the refill kits for.
so
Isn't it just alcohol? Just putting.
No, that's Prismacolor.
Yeah, Prismacolor does the rubbing alcohol.
But if you get these, you can fill these, and they work good. So,
have you refilled them before, like multiple times?
Oh yeah.
Or have you never gotten that?
Yeah,
far?
one refill. There's some that I still have from like 7 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
And depending on what color it is, if it's a color you use a lot,
Black.
then maybe I've bought it like twice. Yeah, like black, I've probably bought like 3 times at this point.
Sure.
But I've probably filled the marker like 50 times.
Oh man,
wow.
really?
I didn't realize that refills had that much in them.
And they have the tips. You can change the tips out, replace those. So you can pretty much re-engineer the whole thing, re-engineer it. So it's pretty nice.
So like it's an initial expensive-ish investment, but over time, it's a very affordable marker because of that.
Yeah, I'm used to the Prismacolor like chisel tips, and those I think you can refill those like 3 times before the pigment starts to go.
I've done that. I've refilled those with alcohol, but then it starts bleeding and it'll eat up like your black ink on your paper.
So you can only do like 2 or 3. Like I use an eyedropper. You do like 2 or 3 drops in there, or whatever. Like anything more, and it starts to like water it down.
It'll eat up anything else. So I was like, I got to stay away from that.
Yeah.
But I do have those too, though. There's some floating around here.
Yeah, they're a little cheaper. I mean, I don't think
Yeah, I have a bunch of grayscale ones. So like,
I like grayscale ones.
Yeah, I
use
more
of a cool gray.
That for the cool gray, fridge gray, all that stuff.
Yeah, I love the alcohol markers because you could blend, you could put a lot of pigment on there. It's not going to destroy and warp the paper,
right?
The same way that a water-based marker would, because they'll start making the paper not just warp. In some cases, they'll flat out like ruin the paper.
It almost starts disintegrating. Yeah.
But here, you put down the alcohol marker, you kind of let it dry for a few seconds, and then you kind of can blend, let that dry a little bit for a few seconds, and you can blend, and the pigment kind of does its magic. Whereas the other way around, it starts really soaking through and eating up the paper. But that's why I was looking at when I was doing it, and I was like, why couldn't I just do a whole comic like this? Because it was way faster for me to do that than it would be to digitally color.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's nowhere near as fun for me to digitally color. It's just like, oh god,
it's a lot of work. Ugh.
Well, heck, they used to do markers for comics, back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. It'd just be like, another staring in front of the screen job. I didn't want to do that. But like this, it was like, this is fun, and I got a whole bunch of them. So we'll see. I'm gonna, when I get the good cardstock, I'll print out a whole test page. I want to print out Keir's art. I'll test page that and see what I could do.
That's a little bit lower, pressure. Like if you screw up, you can just print it off again.
Yeah, it's not a one shot, right?
Right.
And if I gotta tweak something, I could do that digitally. I just don't want to color the whole thing digitally,
Or you could do a paste up.
Yeah.
Just cut the panel out, recolor that,
bam,
glue it right on there. Well, that's why I switched to watercolor after, markers not doing great for me. Watercolor works a lot better. And then after seeing what like Dustin Nguyen did on like Descender over Image and stuff, he watercolored the whole thing. He did some stuff for DC too. So I mean, there's a precedent for it. Just traditional colored comics.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, even now.
I like that. I would like to do that one day for Blood Realm.
What's that? A full color?
Well, not full color, but like just traditional coloring, like you guys are talking about. Just the way I do my sketch cards. No, I don't actually. Actually, I digitally put the red.
Now you're blowing my mind. I feel like you just told me Santa Claus is real. I'm finding out for the first time that that's fake red.
Do it for like a 10-page stretch. You don't got to do like a whole book. Just do something small, like 5 or 10 pages. See what you think.
Yeah, we'll see.
A couple gallons of red ink.
Yeah, that's all.
Hey, he uses his own blood.
course.
Oh,
By the time I'm
That's
done with the book, I'll be like,
I'm done.
I am finished. I have given them everything.
Cookies and juice after every page.
Every last drop.
I love it. Do it. That's a stretch goal.
Yeah.
what sticking? Oh, you got to mix your blood in with the ink. There you go. Like, get a piece of me.
Yeah. Nah, the red's all wrong. Real blood doesn't work right.
Your eyes
Doesn't
kind of
pop.
brown.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
pop like
browns.
Fake red.
You need that fake blood realm red.
Yeah, you need that red that doesn't oxidize.
Yep, that's
right.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love
So-
it.
Rob, you said you're just finishing the last pages of your current campaign issue.
This is it. I have the last page to draw. It's so close. It's sitting there. We've been wrestling all day. But it's going to get done. Eventually, he knows that he's not going to win. I will emerge victorious.
That's 18. The last pages of that.
Last page of 18. Yep,
Perfect.
last page.
Nice.
So, and then
Just
done.
one panel or the whole thing?
This is Rob after he's done.
You only had to do like 5 pages.
I won. I win. No, everything is drawn. I just have to like clean up some of the inks. I got to tighten some stuff up, add more detail. It's just. I was telling Peter yesterday. It was one of those pages that I was just putting off for a while. It has a lot of characters, a lot of panels, and I kept saying, "Oh yeah, later, yeah, eventually." And then it's the last one. I'm like, "Why did I make this the last one?"
You got to do the hard ones first.
You have to. I broke my rule. I usually
Yeah.
try to get the hard ones out of the way, but I was on such a streak, and I was like, "This is great. I'm doing all these other easier pages."
You poor man. Usually it's the artist cursing the writer for giving him a really difficult page to draw. And there you are, like, curse you, Rob.
See, I go in page order. I just go page 1, page 2.
I know.
Page 3.
I usually do, but yeah, I had too much fun with a particular part of this story, so I went out of order because I couldn't wait to draw a certain thing. So
You don't assembly line it for yourself, like all the pencils and all the inks and that kind of a thing?
no.
Yeah,
I do the layouts,
all
all
done.
layouts, big thumbnails, blow them
Mhm.
up, and I just light box my thumbnails when they're nice and big.
Well, actually, I did on 18. I did do that. I did pencils, so I did kind of do the pencils all the way through, and showed them with Rob. So we did do that, and then I went
Yeah.
back and inked them page 1, page 2, page 3. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I did do the pencils that way. So
Do you ever have motivational problems, Keir? Like you got a page that's just not working and it feels like tough to continue? Like got to push through that?
I mean, that's a struggle. So I try to work where I sit, and I'm like, I try to do at least a page every day. But I break it up so it's like half one day and then finish it the next day, and then I move into the next page to kind of keep it fresh. So it's kind of like the in between. That's what my goal was. I wanted to do that. So, but sometimes it takes longer. If it's a big double page, I mean, those sometimes take like 2 or 3 days to
I was going to ask what's the
Only
longest
2 or
fiddle
3 days?
to fiddle with. So
Do you build it up evenly when you do that? Like, are you starting off with like everything's a loose sketch and then you start refining everything and build it? Or do you like go and zero in and really, get like that one horse really good and then go on to the next thing and get that one character really good?
Well, everything starts with like my big kind of like lead holder, so it's really loose. So you're getting like shapes and all of that, and then I usually start refining it more down to like faces. Really, I want them to be good.
Do you do roughs in the light box, or do you just do that all on the page?
All on paper. I just do everything on paper. Because
Well, I mean, like, do you do your roughs on one page and then light box it onto another one to make it cleaner?
I do digital layout, so I'll do all the layouts digitally because we can move things around really fast. So if they have something they want to change, I can change it really quick digitally to see if we want like the character on the other side of the page or this and that. That keeps me from having to erase a lot, and then I'll go and do from my digital layouts. I'll do pencils and have them take a look at those and see what they like, and then I'll get the okay before I ink it.
That's all in the span of an hour, huh?
Well, this takes a little longer, but the digital stuff's really fast. The layouts, we can play with anything fast, so that works out real nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you just you don't really mess with thumbnails then? You just go in and start scribbling on your layouts.
Yeah, I go from the blue digital stuff on my iPad right into the page.
Okay.
And start playing with it and see what happens. And then if anything gets screwed up too bad, then I'll do, like, once I scan the original art, I can change it digitally. We can fix things or move things around that don't work out.
Awesome.
So how have you started work on this? I mean, besides the first few pages and stuff like that, how far are you into Blood Moon?
For the story or for the art?
For the art.
Just those first pages.
Oh, okay.
We wanted to see how things go, and then we'll move into the big bulk of the story. And so,
Dr. Mass asks, what do you use for digital layouts, Keir?
I have an iPad Pro, so I use that with a Apple Pencil. So then I can just kind of, I don't have like a big Cintiq or anything like that. Those were way too expensive. I looked at it, but it was like what, $3,000. I was like, whoa, man, I'm not getting.
Oh, $3,000.
Because I wasn't gonna get one of the. I was gonna get one of those big.
Oh, the
big one that you draw on.
20
inches. Copics don't look so bad now, do they? Huh?
Exactly. So then I was like, the iPad Pro works great with Procreate, and I'm actually able to do a lot with just that $9 Procreate program and an Apple Pencil.
I wonder if Cintiqs went up in price too after COVID. I wonder because I have one, but it's definitely didn't pay. I've definitely paid a fraction of that, but it's
I was looking at like a big
years
27-inch big tabletop one was the one I was looking at because I was like, if I'm going to get one of these, I'm getting that big ass one, that I can like Todd McFarlane has, where you sit there and the big one was because I can't do that. I know they make the smaller ones, but then they also have just the pad where you have to look at the screen and then draw on the pad. I can't do that. So. The iPad Pro.
They've got another company that's it kind of rivals Wacom or Wacom, either way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember their bit. Yeah, Wacom's good. Yeah,
Wacom.
Wacom.
Wacom good.
I'm trying to remember what the heck they're called. But they are a little bit cheaper.
For people that can't afford those, you can get an iPad Pro and then an Apple Pencil, and with the Procreate, it's really good, and you can import brushes and all that stuff. So I mean, it's not Photoshop.
Huion is the
okay.
Huion. Oh, yeah, but they're
Huion is the company. It's like for like a 15.6, it's like 300 or something like that. They go much cheaper.
Interesting.
I'd looked at one of those myself. I've got like a little, like, kind of starter Wacom. That's all I really.
And then a really good scanner. You got to get one of those too. They're expensive.
Yeah.
That helped a lot too, though. Getting a really high-end scanner, it made all the scans look a lot better and sharper. So.
But you can do it old school, where you like set up like a easel or whatever, and get like a really nice camera, and then just put that on a tripod and just like shoot that. There's your high res right there.
That works too. It's a lot more work.
It's a whole lot more work.
So invest in a good scanner. That'll help you.
Mm-hmm.
Print out all the ink on like the clear pages, and then put that over the coloring, and
get that acetate going.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's old school.
That's too old school for me. I don't want to go that far back.
Yeah, it's too old school for me too. But
I love coloring.
I love the idea that it happened.
Right, somebody figured it out. Absolutely.
The idea.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a comic done like that, just to see how it would look nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, and there's still artists that do use some of that older stuff. Like, what is the Zipatone and all that stuff?
Oh,
yeah. People are still using that. It's really tricky to work with that junk, though. So you have to really want to do that.
Just right. Yeah, I think there's like one company that still really makes it.
Right. It's tough to find too and expensive.
Yeah.
But it's cool. And so it's nice to still have people.
I forget the name of it, but there's like a company that does digital brushes that are like that. That the coloring ends up being Zipatone.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think clip paint's got a lot of like that stuff standard because it's so heavily used in the manga.
Right. I have some of that in my Procreate too, the kind of Zipatone looking stuff.
Yeah.
So it exists.
Good brother, welcome to the nest. Welcome Marcus to the nest. Just talking about not making comics old school.
Just art. We're talking about art and making
These guys
stuff.
are not comic book like Luddites.
Like we still do everything traditional, so that's good. You still you can see the finished product.
Oh yeah.
I got tons of it.
Do you think that there's
swimming in it?
Can you spot digital art like at a glance?
I'd say most of it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
What is it? Too perfect?
I got pretty good at doing
usually
digital ink. I can kind of fake my style in digital ink, but it does have a more slick look to it. It doesn't have that choppy kind of real toothiness, I guess you could say, to it. Yeah. But I can fake it a little bit. So
you could probably find some toothy brushes.
Yeah, I'm just using the stuff I had. I didn't buy any, so yeah. But
like, there's some great digital art out there that it's tough to tell sometime if that was traditional or digital.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Most coloring nowadays, I just assume it's all digital.
Right.
Because that's so much of it. Unless it's actually, you see a picture of a piece. You know, so someone shows like a sketch card or a cover or
usually a painted
piece of
comic
paper
or something.
Yeah. But like when it's just on the image itself, and if I get or when I used to get submissions in, most of the time I could tell all of it was done digitally, especially the line work and the digital pencils, because everything would be so stiff. Everything would there'd be no energy to it. Geometric shapes would be way too perfect. It'd just be no life to the line work. And that's the vast majority of digital art. But there are some digital artists that are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, figured out the mixture of it. I do, and I try to draw a lot of stuff freehand. Like I don't use I'll use ruler for lines every once in a while, but I try because it gives it a more lifelike if it's a little bit off.
Yeah, the imperfections sometimes make it.
Totally.
Although I don't know if using a ruler is going to count as cheating.
Right, but I'll put I'll try not to keep it super straight, or
probably thinking of those like European artists that are like, you used reference. Sorry, what?
Yeah, I can draw a circle freehand, perfect, so I don't have to use those templates. Get out of here.
Good, brother. The 11x17 scanner changed my life, almost embarrassingly so.
It is. It was a great investment. That was one of the best things I got.
Yeah, that helps.
Holy crap, they're expensive though.
Yeah, but it's so nice to finish a page and then just scan it. Like, I don't got to drive to Staples and scan.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I have a brother printer that I bought. My God, I have to tell you, I think I bought this thing 2000. I would say, oh my God, 2006. This thing is still going. It's 11x17, and but the black ink finally went. For some reason, I brought it to 2 different places. They cannot repair this thing to print black ink anymore.
It won't print.
I was like, oh, all right. And he was like, the guy right away was like, do not get rid of this. He said,
the scanner's good.
Yeah, he was like, the scanner's amazing. It prints color, so you could print in dark blue.
Okay.
He was like, have you looked at what they cost now? I was like, no, I haven't. And wow, I can't believe how much 11x17 printer goes for.
Oh yeah.
After COVID, he said that it's skyrocketed for those machines.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought you were saying that you only had one ink cartridge from 2006.
Oh no,
lasted that long? That's the best.
Just ink cartridge.
I finally used it.
It's the Mary Poppins bag of ink cartridges.
Rob's bringing in his 11x17 printer. Why won't this print?
It needs ink, bro.
Black anymore.
I just throw them away when they run out of ink.
Empty.
It's almost cheaper to do that. Just throw the printer because the ink's so freaking expensive.
Well, if you get like one of those like $30 printers, you might as well just toss the printer and go get another one with a new ink cartridge in it.
You said they're disposable, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, those scanners, man. Oh,
Mine's-
yeah.
Mine's
this
just a
point, too.
flatbed scanner. It doesn't print or anything. All it does is black and white scans.
Not even color. I guess you don't need it.
Not even color. I didn't even get that one. I was like, all I need is black and white,
Sure.
and it's perfect.
He goes, sure.
Sure.
That's how I roll.
Yes,
Sure
I
you
think
do.
so. I always scanned it in color and then reprint or redid the blacks and stuff like that. But I'm probably overthinking it myself.
Not this guy.
I had
Black
this
and
like
white
little
flatbed
tiny,
scanner.
like, hand scanner from his brother or whatever. It was all
I
right.
don't need
Great.
no color.
I don't need none of that junk. It's just more stuff to break, bro. All I need is black and white.
That's true. But we're going,
Gordon,
we
your
don't
brother's-
need color.
Keir gives his wood ruler the jitters. So Gordon Goodbrother says.
Nice.
I didn't say it. Gordon Goodbrother said. Oh, he didn't even use a wood ruler.
No, and I broke it because I got mad at it, so it's even broke.
Mm.
Why did you get mad at your ruler?
Wasn't drawing straight enough for me.
Oh man.
Hey,
Fired.
when that happens.
It had one job to do and it didn't do it, so I
Yeah.
got mad at it.
You got to get one of those like indestructible metal rulers.
Nah, I dropped it and it broke. So what are you
The
gonna do?
metal ruler broke?
These are the plastic ones.
Oh.
And
Over
everybody-
there, like, how hard did you drop it?
Yeah,
it just
geez.
it fell right on the edge and bam, popped it. Crazy.
Trip to Hobby Lobby, getting another one.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
Maybe.
one? Are you attached to that one? Is that like you named
I don't want to buy another one. It still works.
it? Fair enough. All right, guys,
Okay.
we're about on our Blood Moon funding right now. Currently at 44%, 16 days left. High quality graphic novel. All the links are in the description. I believe I got it set for. Quiet. I got it set. What do we got? We got Blood Moon at Alterna. We got Blood Moon at Indiegogo. We got King Cryptid at Alterna. We got Blood Realm at Indiegogo. And then you can find all those books and a whole lot more at alternacomics.com. Do you guys have anything else to say before we pull the plug?
No, just thank you so much, everybody. Share the
Absolutely.
campaign. Check it out if you haven't already. We
You're gonna
appreciate
love
the
it.
support. Yeah.
Days of fun stuff to read and look at. Try
Yeah.
them out if you never have.
Hope to see you guys too on my channel this weekend, the 7th and 8th, starting at 8:30 Eastern at night. We're gonna have an art auction.
Yes.
So far it'll
8:30, you
be
said?
8:30. Yeah. So far it'll be me, Rob, Tyler Wentland, James Newen, Bill Mouse, Anthony Gambino,
Oh,
and we're gonna have Keir there on Sunday. Sunday.
I actually
I'll be there
drew
Sunday.
something. Yeah.
Nice.
I'll be there Sunday too. Yeah. Can I come?
You'll be there too.
All right, guys,
Rob will
thanks
be there, too.
very much for coming on with me. Having a chat. First time I've had more than one guest on at a time.
It was
Been
fun.
great.
Really? The first time?
This is the
Wow.
first time, yeah.
Nice.
Of course it was
It's
going to be an
amazing.
alternate. You guys are awesome.
No fights.
All right,
It's great.
Thank you very
Alright.
much. Have a great rest of your night, chat. You guys have a great rest of your night. We'll see you when we see you next, Pete, probably in 6 months.
You got it.
Yeah.